Everything will take care of itself if you understand these 3 laws of patience. See, the biggest reason you're making mistakes in your life is because you're too reactive. As soon as an urge comes up, you go ahead and make the same mistake. When you have a problem, you panic and you want to resolve it immediately, or you ignore it completely. When things don't go your way, you become frustrated, angry, or lose interest. You can't seem to build anything of worth because it becomes too boring as soon as it doesn't go the way that you expected. But you could have avoided all of these scenarios if you cultivated the very special and very important virtue of patience. Welcome to the Superhuman series. I am Taeed the Spirit, and I explore with you the wonderful world of virtues and how we can cultivate them and use them in our lives to really become superhuman. Because when you gather these virtues, you start to be able to do things you were never able to do before. And common problems that people face every day in their lives become trivial to you. And today we have the honor of learning about one of the most important virtues of all, patience, which is the ability to let go the need of control and trust in the natural rhythm of the universe. So many problems could be solved with patience because so many of our problems are the result of our own doing, from being too reactive. When we think we need to solve everything ourselves or solve everything immediately, we end up often creating more problems and internal suffering. To reach a superhuman level of patience, one must master the art of letting emotions and thoughts take their course and settle down so that you can operate without being directly controlled by them. Patience will allow you to consider what your emotions are telling you, but not immediately react from them. To become patient, you must understand a few natural patterns the universe makes. I call these the 3 laws of patience. Law number 1, nothing is personal. Think about how dynamic the range of your internal world is. Your vast network of history, trauma, habits, likes, dislikes, and feelings. How reliable are they? How consistent are they? Don't they change every month, week, or even day? Let's say you're heartbroken from a breakup, and you've been having depressive thoughts and feelings for weeks, and you don't even have enough energy to get out of bed. But then, let's say your ex calls you, they say they miss you, and they want to get back together. Suddenly, you fly out of bed, clean your entire house, and you have all this energy and optimism. Where did that come from? As you can see, all of us are incredibly complex and inconsistent beings. And the people who have cultivated patience have recognized that nothing lasts forever, and more importantly, nothing is directly ever because of them. The patient person will see that when someone is being rude to them, or excludes them, or has an attitude, it is just a projection of themselves and not a reflection of you. People who are patient can see the complexity and the beauty within a Karen that is yelling outside of a Walmart parking lot. They won't even be bothered by it at all. They will actually see it as something beautiful and amazing about the universe. The fact that this thing even exists, right? It will not register as a personal attack to a patient person because they know that it is all situational. That same Karen, given the opportunity and a different set of circumstances, could have been the nicest person you've met that day. Nothing people do is ever personal. It is always a reflection of how they treat themselves projected onto other people. Patient people know that to resolve any problem with others is by being patient enough to allow the other person to express their unconscious behavior and greet them with genuine acceptance. If you give other people the space to truly be seen by you, their unconsciousness will melt away and you will snap them into a state of higher awareness. And this is literally a superpower that is given to you by patience. You can literally change the state of awareness of another person just by being patient with them. And then after you do this, you will start to feel a natural life energy and joy emanate from you just by being patient with somebody else. Law number 2 of patience tells us that outcomes are secondary to our internal state. In other words, what does it matter where you are or what you have or what happens if you're already internally happy? If you are already at peace internally, it really doesn't matter how much money you make or what house you live in or who you're dating or who you're friends with or who your family is, because you already have love, peace, and joy that you're looking for. If you were super depressed but living in a mansion or living on the beach, you'll notice that those things don't really matter, do they? Because you're depressed. That's why patient people understand when things are not going their way, it is their decision whether or not they have a bad experience, because the bad experience is dependent on your inner state. This doesn't mean that you need to pretend everything is fine when it's really not. It means that when things aren't going your way, and when things are not fine, you have the patience to acknowledge and accept what you're feeling, and instead of immediately reacting, you can choose to become aware of that negative emotion and let it pass through you and transmute into your natural joy that exists within you already. Law number 3 of patience. Expectations are meaningless. Many of us live in moderately stable environments created by our society, which we have grown into and learned how to operate in. Depending how we grew up, most of us have a basic understanding of how our world works, how to get a job, where to get food, where to have fun, and so we take actions that work in this familiar world. And when our actions don't go as planned, we get upset. But the patient know that the true nature of our universe is much more chaotic, and the control we feel we have in our lives and in our communities are actually artificial ones. Things in this world dramatically shift all the time, and usually until something big happens, like an economic depression or a war, do we realize how truly powerless we are individually. The universe has existed long before us. We do not choose the lives we live. We were born into them, and we have made the most of them. That is why the patient know not to make attachments to their expectations, because the expectations that we have made are the result of a bunch of people coming together and providing us what we have over the course of human history. All we can do is be grateful for what we have, but we can't control always having it. We can always try our best, but when we get attached to that expectation and the chaotic nature of the world persists, that's when suffering is created. But if we know that everything is temporary, the patient will never be hurt by the shifts of the ever-changing world. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Peace.